So, this is Lazy here, back with another video. It's been about many months. That's kind of normal. This is gonna be my review, if you couldn't tell by the title, on She-Hulk. The episode came out like almost a week ago, so I'm kind of late, but it's better than never. And personally, in my opinion, if I had to rate the episode, I would give maybe a 7 out of 10. I think that's about right. It was okay. There was a few noticeable problems in there that it could have been really good, because there wasn't much I would say that made me really mad. There was just things that kind of just annoyed me a little while watching it. Mainly the story. The story is all right. You can very much tell that they're just trying to get straight from her origin to the actual main stuff, and that's She-Hulk dealing with actual superhero problems. So the whole origin that we were given was just honestly insanely rushed, and that was the main problem of the whole episode, was that it just felt like it was going too fast. The pacing was just kind of really off. For example, like the origin, if you read the comics, and my memory of the comics isn't too great, it's been a while since I've looked at it, but like in the comics, she gets into a car crash. No, it wasn't a car crash. She was targeted because I think Bruce Banner had enemies, and she happened to be targeted and was injured, and she was on her deathbed. So in order to live, Bruce Banner gave his cousin a bit of his blood. So Jennifer Walters became the She-Hulk. That's how it was. A lot more dramatic, and a lot more stuff had happened to get from her becoming a human to becoming a She-Hulk. In the episode, in the series, it just kind of like, they get in a car crash, a bit of his blood falls into her cut, and boom, she's the Hulk. Again, you can really tell that they're just trying to speed straight through it, and as much as I liked the episode, the whole thing felt just kind of rushed. I'm hoping now that they've gotten past the origin, which is probably the least important part of the series, I imagine, the pacing's gonna slow down a bit, and hopefully we get longer episodes. Because that was also another problem I didn't like, is the fact that I think this is, out of all the Disney Plus Marvel shows you've been given, this was like the shortest episode from my memory. It was like 36 minutes, while every other pilot episode has been at least close to an hour, maybe at least 40-50 minutes, and this was painfully short. I wasn't a big fan. I hope we get longer ones in the future. I hope it was just the exception for the first one, but it was a little too short for me. They could have given it 10-20 more minutes to maybe add a bit more depth to her origin and other scenes that happened in this episode, and it would have been at least a 9 out of 10. A much better episode. But the two more notable problems I noticed in the story was, again, I already talked about the origin, but the Titania fight at the end. That was, they advertised that, well, I won't say they advertised her. They advertised Titania a lot, but like we saw that fight a little bit in the trailer, and I thought, okay, this is gonna be a little important fight. It wasn't. She got one-shotted. It was honestly just extremely underwhelming. I expected more, and I definitely did not get that. I don't know, like, I feel like they may have cut out a bit of stuff, and if they did cut out a bit of stuff from that fight, why? It was, again, a 36-minute episode. There's no point in cutting out anything. It was just kind of stupid. I wish I saw more, but the good thing is, this isn't the last time we see her. We're probably going to see her more. They wouldn't advertise Titania as much as they did, and she only appeared for 5 minutes in the first episode. That wouldn't make sense. And if that is the case, then this series is going to go downhill real fast. But those are the two notable problems I didn't quite like: the origin and the Titania fight we got at the end. I guess the ship coming out of nowhere to pretty much start off the episode at the beginning was kind of weird too. But we got, I would complain a bit more, but we did get an explanation for that. A weird explanation, but it just wasn't like put off to the side and never talked about again. We actually learned that they were just trying to message the Hook. They were trying to talk to Bruce Banner, caused him to get in a car accident. So that's pretty stupid. But that was my main takeaways from the first episode. I'm always a bit more chill on the first episode because you never know. It could get much better. It can get a lot worse. Kind of like WandaVision. The first episode was obviously kind of just, you know, an exposition episode in WandaVision, and over time it got much better. Or Boba Fett. Can't say the name. That show was really bad. The first episode had potential, and it got worse and worse. So, you know, I'm gonna be very optimistic. I liked what I saw. I enjoyed it. I can't wait for the second episode. And that was it. That was yeah.